guys, welcome to the Instagram Reels training. I am so glad that you are here. First of all, I am proud of you for investing in yourself. And what you're doing right now is you are investing in yourself so that you can better invest in and better serve your audience, your clients, your network. So, round of applause. I want you to go ahead and just breathe a sigh of relief, a round of applause for yourself, okay? Can you go ahead and do me a quick favor? I want y'all to take out your phones and screenshot this slide, screenshot what you're doing and tag me. One, so that I can keep track of you and cheer you on. And two, to let your audience know that you care enough about them, the platform, and using it in the best way to provide them with the best type of content possible. When you invest in yourself, they are better understanding the value that you bring, and they are one step closer to your product's service, message, and offering. And that is a win-win for you and them. So go ahead and take a moment to do that. Y'all make sure to tag me because I can't wait to see y'all's content and cheer you on after you're finished with this training. Instagram Reels came out about 2 months ago and have just boomed. The idea of Instagram Reels came from TikTok. If you don't know what TikTok is, it is essentially the same thing as Instagram Reels on a different platform that may or may not be shut down by the government soon. So we shall see. Essentially what Instagram Reels and TikToks are, and I'm getting ahead of myself already here, which is typical for me, are 0 to 30 seconds of clips with audio and visual effects that show up on its own Discover page on Instagram and in your feed. So not necessarily on the news feed, but in its own special place. And it's just been a really viral way for people to laugh and feel connected and get educated, especially during this crazy, crazy time. So I want y'all to know a little bit about how I have used Reels and what has happened as a result of that, so that you know I know what I'm talking about, and I'm feeding you with truthful, valuable information that has proven to be super successful for my page and my team's page time and time again, so that you believe in it just as much as I do, okay? So what I've shown here is just a little bit. This is a screenshot that I took a handful of weeks ago, so the numbers have already gone up. But you'll see in here that some of the reels have 190,000 here, 128,000 views, 17,000. So these are a ton of new eyeballs on content that I'm producing. And what that means is when I can produce it, and when you can produce it in a way that really relates and speaks to your network and the world and connecting with your audience, they're not only going to view it, but they're going to tag people in it, they're going to save it, and they're going to go to your profile, they're going to see what's in your bio and decide, is this someone that I want to be following or not? And the answer is yes. So I'm excited to share with you how you can do this, because you guys, this isn't something that we come out of the womb knowing how to do, like Instagram Reels. No, this is something that is learned and tried and experimented and failed and succeeded. And I am allowing you to learn. I'm enabling you to learn from what I've learned, right? And so I'm trying to give it to you in a super valuable and concise way so that you can start off on a more successful foot than having to guess and Google, right? And do all that. So the important thing to note here, the most important thing I think, is down in the right-hand corner. You'll see that in a week span. So I screenshotted these on September 7th, and it is September 24th. I, in that week period, reached 248.8% more, not more, but percent more accounts than I had the previous week. And that is all because of Instagram Reels. You will also see that I gained an average of 207 followers during this week period. Sometimes you'll have bots follow you and unfollow you, so you don't need to worry about those. We just want to make sure that the right people are seeing our content and following us. So that is a success that I've seen with Instagram Reels. And this is a little bit of a system that I have come up with that I'm going to share with you today. And I'm so excited to see you guys have success and just add more value and fun to your feed and your audience because of this. So the purpose of this training is to make you more confident. Okay. It's to make you more confident in creating Reels and knowing what to create them about, knowing how to create them, and knowing how to use them to positively impact your business as a tool. So what is a reel? When I sat down and started creating this, I really wanted to make an acronym for reel to pinpoint exactly what I felt like it was. And I came up with relatable, entertaining, evoking, and laughable. So relatable is that me too moment, that, oh my gosh, I didn't know anyone else did that. I do that every day. I say that every day. My husband does it every day. My boss, my coworker, whatever. Entertaining is just, it can be funny, it can be educational. And you know what? Reels typically have all four of these in one reel, and that is why they're so special. Entertaining, they're doing the dances, the songs are fun. Evoking emotion kind of ties back to that relatable, but it's either emotionally evoking emotion, or it's relatably evoking emotion, or you think it's funny, which goes to the laughable part. It is just, it's funny. And typically, it's all of these things because it is relatable and it's relating to your audience. So I'm going to teach you how to take what you know and do with your day and how to pull out those relatable elements. And then the second part of this is aligning it with Instagram Reel trends or TikTok trends. Okay. So the science behind things like Reels is essentially connection. We are increasing the amount of content that it's connection and attention span. We are increasing the amount of content that we consume, and our brain actually, when we're scrolling, we have an attention span of about 8 seconds, and we need something new like every 8 seconds. So that's why Reels can be 0 now to 30 seconds. And they're so critical because it's a short way and you've got their attention for that 15 seconds. And in that time, you can figure out fun ways to connect, to provide value, and to educate. Psychological connection is what we're after on this platform. It is the bundle of subjective feelings that come together to create a bond between two people. And we as humans, we desire this connection, whether we're out at the grocery store, whether we are in class, whether we're at work, or whether we're on social media. We want to see people that make us feel less alone. If you are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it is a very similar thing. And this connection is the foundation for trust. And that's why that's so important, because sales are based on trust. You buy from people, people buy from people. And so you want your people to trust you. So the goal is to be relatable and create that psychological connection. So with some reels, you may have a smaller audience, and you will know that when you create them. And those are the educational, highly specific reels, and they serve more of an educational or inspirational purpose. But then you're going to have those large viral, I know that's like a toss around term now, but a viral content, which means it is so popular and so relatable on a broad level that it is being shown and shown and shown. And Instagram keeps showing it because people keep tagging their friends in it and they keep loving it. And that's what is called viral content. So if you see to the right, you're going to see that the business casual, but make it 2020 is a very broad and relatable reel. It ended up going viral. Okay. And the reason it did is because it had nothing to do with skincare. It had nothing to do with like a super specific niche audience or education. It was totally like 8 seconds or however long it was of pure humor and relatable, because it's 2020. Anyone that works and is working from home can relate to this. Anyone actually in general in the world can relate to this, whether you're working from home or not. So that was a broad, relatable one. Then I created some more specific ones, and they've had a lot less views, but the people that do find me because of these reels or do view them and tag their friends or save them or whatever, those are my people. So there's two sides. One, I can get a broad audience to my network and try and convert them into the right people, which is so you can do that. I have a whole ebook on how to do that. And then the other part here is speaking to either those who are already on your page or you're in the middle of converting them. And so the idea is when you get someone to your profile and they press follow and then they go look at all this other stuff that says what you're about, you're providing them more value on a more specific and deeper level. So as we rotate here clockwise, the exfoliation got less views than the first one. And then that third one about Instagram content got a lot less views because it was super specific. Only people that care about Instagram and business are going to be into that type of content, which makes it a lot smaller than the business casual, but make it 2020. So in order of priority, we want to increase visibility. And a lot of times we want for these reels, a lot of times we want people to tag their friends or their husbands or their boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, in it. Like, save, and comment on it. So what not to do? We are not going to stress, because at the end of the day, your message is not changing. This is another medium for your message, just like stories, just like Facebook groups, just like IGTVs and feed posts. It is just another medium for your same message. You're not going to feel behind because it's not too late. It is important to get on the train early, because as an early adopter, you have a higher chance of being seen and going viral, but you're not behind. You're going to learn and feel confident in this training, and you're going to produce your first reel within a week. And I want you to tag me in it. And I can't wait to see how you grow as a result. Just to give y'all like a little bit of ballpark, my first reel, I was looking at this the other day, my first reel was 986 views. And then my first like higher reel was 5,000. The latest viral reel I have, 458,000 views. That is almost 500,000. Okay, so you're not going to go all out. I mean, you may, but this is a as we go, as we learn type of thing. I am just giving you the foundation. Okay, so you're not going to feel behind, you're not going to give up, and you're not going to compare, because you have a uniqueness about you that no one else has. Your experiences, your emotion, the way you spend your time, what inspires you, what you prioritize, what your passions are, is so specific to you. There is room for that here. Okay, in whatever you're doing, whatever space you're in, you're needed, you're unique, okay? And so we are not going to compare. What we are going to do is figure out how to identify your relatable points, identify the real trends, align your connection points and trends, and then determine the best way to post to get highest amount of engagement. So what do I make a reel about? I want you guys to follow these instructions and then pause this section so that you can complete this exercise before we move on. So write down a list of what you spend your day doing. I want you to be as specific as you can be. So not just like I wake up and do I press the snooze button, or do my feet just hit the floor, right? I then go to do you go to the bathroom? Do you take a shower? Do you go to the gym? Do you make coffee? I have to get my husband out the door, myself out the door, son out the door, boyfriend, whatever. Okay. What is your day in a specific timeline? I want you to spell that out from morning to night. After you do that, I want you to go under each to do and write down one emotionally relatable element. It might take you a minute to think about this, but you can do it. An emotionally relatable element that occurs within that task that is funny or frustrating. And this is funny or frustrating to you, not what other people think, because if you do it, they do it. And we're going to get there in a second. But this is all specific to you in your day. So things like pressing snooze, having my workout clothes laid out from the night before and pressing snooze, or getting those feet on the floor. You're like, I get my feet on the floor and I'm up and running. Okay. Another thing could be, do you have to have that cup of coffee? Is that your thing? Do you have your special coffee mug when you're trying to get your kids out the door? Is that a pleasant surprise, or are they screaming because you gave them the wrong color sippy cup? Be super specific about the different elements that are frustrating, funny, sad that you go through in this, okay? Because that is that emotional connection that you are going to use to get your ideal audience engaged. And then write down at least one question or concern that either you have been asked or you have asked yourself about this element of your day. So pause to do this. You can look at my outline here for some inspiration. Okay. So now that we have done the relatable type connection point outline, I want you to also do this for your offering, because not only are we going to make Instagram reel content about relating to your audience and who you are, what you believe in, those connection points, but this is also a critical and fun way to educate and entertain your audience about what you offer. So I want y'all to do another exercise similar to what we did last time. You're going to create a concept web for your offering. If you've never done this before, I highly recommend keeping like a master, just like flow of thoughts and messaging and concepts is what I like to call it, a concept map. And so start with your core element. So you'll see that over here I did Instagram strategy. And then under the core element, break it up into the important segments or topic that make up that element. So what makes up an Instagram strategy? Well, you've got the different elements of Instagram. You've got planning, you've got who you're talking to, right? And there's many more, but this is just to give you guys a little glimpse of what we should be thinking about. So then you're going to break those elements up further into subtopics, questions, concerns, or related content. And truly, you can go very deep into this. For example, if you're in the middle of a sale or in the middle of just really getting narrow on a topic because of a promotion or something coming up, you could do a concept map about that specific product or offering, service, and then just get really granular. And this actually helps you create a content quote strategy, and plan ahead for what the important elements are that you need to be talking about and incorporating. So I want you to pause and do this. Take a few minutes to do this and get yourself down to a few different levels of concepts. Then we will connect back together and talk about how we're going to use both the relatable connection points and concepts from your product or service and align them with the Instagram Reel trends. So these are your topics. Now you know, what do I post a reel about? Because these are the parts of your day that we think are mundane that create those connections with our viewers. So hopefully you have 5 to 10 things right now that you can talk about to your audience. We're just going to talk about how you do that. If you're having trouble formulating this, ask yourself some questions like, what is a frequent part of your day or week that is humorous, frustrating? What is a question people ask you a lot? What do you say a lot? What do other people say a lot? What do you think a lot? What is a myth that you could debunk about yourself, about who you are, about what you do? And is there anything that you can think of that makes you laugh about your day or what you're spending time doing right now, about your job? Okay. So we have the first part is, what do I talk about? Now we're going to align it with the trends we're seeing on Instagram Reels and TikTok. And I believe that this is where a lot of content creators are stopping and not trying to align. And I believe that this piece is what really makes powerful communication. So we are going to identify trends and opportunities to align topics with Instagram Reel trends. So if you were to go on Reel platform, and to get to the Reel platform, you literally you click on the magnifying glass and it's right here. You can just scroll. You will start seeing trends in the form of song, audio, voiceovers. A lot of them are voiceovers from shows or movies. I'm going to tell you how to access those. Themes, phrases, topics, okay? And I want you to pause and save to your Instagram library. You just click the 3 dots and click save. And then to access it, you go to your profile, you click the upper right-hand corner with the 3 bars, and it should be in there. I want you to save things audio that you like, or audio that you find funny, or themes that you are continuously seeing or can apply to your trends you're seeing that can apply to your themes. I went to the platform and I wrote down my own list. And if you look at these, you can probably either hear the song and it went that's something a lot of people do. Lots about distance learning, the nope, yep audio, jokes about early fall decorating. These are trends that I'm seeing on my feed. And Instagram is going to show you content that they think you'll like based on what you've already engaged with. So you want to think, what does my ideal customer engage with? And this is something you want to think in general when you're creating content or talking online. But specific to Reels, that is what's going to show up in their feed. So take some time to pause and go through and write down the trends that you're seeing and save them. So now that we've done that, I'm going to talk a little bit about execution. I'm actually going to screen share me walking y'all through how to create a reel. But I want to note that TikTok and Instagram Reels are fluid. You can do a TikTok, download it, post it to Instagram Reels. You can do an Instagram Reel, save it without the audio, and upload it to TikTok. So I find not all, but most of my audios that are speaking and funny and not just songs on TikTok, or I go to someone else's reel who has used it and I have to click on the audio and press use audio. So that's a question I get a lot. And I'm going to show you all this in the next tutorial, but we are going to align your topic and a trend. So I want you to look at your trends list, look at your topics list, and I want you to look at something that would align. If you're a mom and your toddler asks you a million questions, the Nope Yep would probably be a really funny one to do. If you are a teacher and you're doing distance learning, you could apply one of the funny things that happens with distance learning to the Nope Yep song, or to any song, or to an audio that you find. You're going to start seeing, once you are scrolling and you have that mindset of your themes and the trends, how you can start aligning these pieces together. Okay, so if you need to screenshot this or download the slide deck to access it, you can. This is the steps, but I'm actually going to walk you through this right now with a screen share. So you're going to learn how to use the audio functionality, how to get effects, how to use the timer, and how to save as a draft and access that. Camera, as if you're going to create a story, but you're going to swipe over to Reels. Now you have the option here of doing 15 seconds, 30 seconds, just press the length button, and then you have the option of adding audio from Instagram. So if you wanted to do that, you would just, or if you want to use an audio of someone's Instagram reel that you found, you are actually going to start there. So if I go into my saved, I have a handful of reels that I've saved that I like the audio, and you can actually click watch reel, click right here on the audio, and then press use audio, and that will automatically show up. But for this purpose, I'm gonna go ahead and choose my own audio. So I'm gonna start over. Okay, so I've got my audio. I am gonna typically do normal speed, and I am going to choose my filter. All right, so now we are ready to create the video. You are going to be able to create it in different segments or all at once. So if I wanted to do like this for the title and then point to something and then stop, you can actually use the... Okay, I went ahead and removed the audio so that y'all didn't have to listen to the music. What I'm doing here is I'm using the timer feature to pre-time it so that it stops automatically at a certain point and gives me a timer to start. So now the reel is recording live, and then it's actually going to stop at a specific point in the music. Okay, so I didn't have to do that. It automatically did it by using the timer tool. Make sure to redo your effects every time you stop. And now I'm showing you how to use the align feature. This is going to be really important when you're doing things like outfit changes or location changes, because it adds a cool, almost like magic. You just appear in the same place in the same position. So it adds like a really cool visual element to the reel. I highly suggest using them when you do fun things like outfit changes and location changes. But essentially it just mimics where you were in your last frame. So here I am putting the timer on again with the 3-second countdown, and it is going to stop automatically at a certain beat of the song, and then it's going to give me a 3-second countdown. So 3, 2, 1. I forgot to put the filter on that second time, but you do need to redo the filter right before you record every single time. Okay, so if you want to save it as a draft, go all the way to the end and hit that blue draft button. It's going to show up in your reel section under drafts. So click it and then click edit so that you can continue editing it or adding content to it. Now we're going to add text to it. Text can be duration based. So you see this white bar at the bottom, how I'm sliding it. You can actually slide the text bar, highlight the text in white up top, and then slide that white bar to determine how long you want it to appear and when. So you can add multiple texts that kind of pop in at different times. It's the same type of text as the Instagram story text, so it's super easy to use. All right, now we're done with your reel. You're gonna add your caption, pick a cover photo or upload a cover photo, and you are done. So a good tip too when you're creating a reel is to give the reader a call to action. I love using the call to action of follow for more social media tips, follow for more mom humor, follow for more whatever you're about, running tips, running humor, etc. Whatever you're about, that's a call to action so that they're like, oh, I'm gonna follow you now. Okay, so now that we have our reel, it's so exciting. We are about to get ready to post it. So use a grabbing headline that really pinpoints to the relatability factor of the content. It can be what the reel is about, like 5 steps to, or that moment when, or raise your hand, mamas, if this has ever happened to you, something that grabs their attention. And then you're going to make a cover photo or use a cover photo from the reel that also pinpoints like exactly what it's about. So if you're saying, when your husband doesn't unload the dishwasher or whatever, you want that to be front and center so that people know immediately before it starts playing what it's about and what they can expect and if it's applicable to them or not. And then you are going to consider adding more information or storytelling in the caption so that the reader has something to read and engage with. Use 11 to 15 relatable hashtags. These can be about the content or the audience to increase visibility and engagement. Make sure you toggle the post to feed option and then post. If you do share to your story, try and put text over the reel so that people have to click on it and they're not just viewing it from your story. That way you've got more engagement on your reel and not just in your stories, okay? And then always a tried and true engagement tip for social media strategists for you guys is to engage with people who engage with your content. That is such a great way to increase visibility because then when it's not one comment, it's two. Because if they comment and you comment, now you have 2 comments and Instagram's like, people are liking this content. So make sure you're engaging with people who comment on it. All right, y'all. I hope this was super helpful for you guys. I'm so proud of you for investing in yourself, and I'm so excited to see what y'all end up creating. Please tag me in your stories, tag me in your reels. I cannot wait to cheer you on and see you grow and see how this impacts your business. If you are looking for more social strategies, trying to identify who your ideal customer is, if you're trying to identify who your ideal customer is, trying to get more confident about showing up consistently on social media to connect with your audience and provide valuable information about your product or service, y'all would love the ebook I have, Instagram Impact and Income. It is a 22-page ebook packed with valuable information that will help you transform how you use social media.